6 o'clock on August 28, 2025. I call this meeting of the Brockton Stormwater Authority to order. If you wish to comment during a public input portion of the meeting, please raise your hand to be addressed at the appropriate time. All comments made during this meeting are public record and should be made in a way that is respectful of others. A recording of this meeting will be posted on YouTube by Brockton Community Access. In order to establish quorum, I ask that each member of the authority state their first and last name for the record.
Andrew Barbetto.
Andrew Olson.
And Kyle Holden. Thank you. Quorum has been established. Before moving on to the first item on the agenda, I do want to make a couple notes concerning the agenda. Agenda items number 5 to 8 seem to be notes that have been accidentally incorporated into the agenda. As such, agenda items number 5 through 11 will not be individually discussed. There is an agenda item number 4, an update from Apex Engineering that we will address when we get there, and that kind of covers the information contained within agenda items 5 through 11. All right, moving on to the first item on the agenda, which is the approval of the prior meeting's minutes. That meeting was the May 28, 2025 meeting. Stormwater Authority members, I assume that you've had a chance to review the May meeting minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any comments, questions, concerns about the May meeting?
No.
No.
All right, I do have a couple of things I would like to address in the meeting minutes. So Cece, the minutes that we have now are kind of like the draft version, and we will vote to accept them, and they will be the official version. I'd like to make a couple changes before we finalize the minutes. So just a couple things, and I can send you this all in an email after the meeting. But the first thing under roll call, we have the list of the members that were in attendance. I think it's important to note that Pat Hill is a non-voting member because later on you reference the votes that are passed unanimously. So I think it's important to note which members are voting members and which members are not voting members. There were 3 votes taken during the meeting. One was the approval of the March 26th meeting minutes. The second was the motion to send out all of those, or I guess issue permits for all those 10 projects that Apex had been reviewing. And then the final was a motion to close. I think that for those, it would be good to modify those sections to say who made the motion, who made the second, and then if the vote is not unanimous, state who voted in which way. But if we make those changes, I think that I'm comfortable approving the minutes otherwise.
That's good.
I'm entertaining a motion to approve the minutes with the stated changes.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Give a
minutes
second?
from the
I
prior
make a
meeting.
motion to approve.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
That's 3 in favor. Motion passes. All right, on to the next meeting, next agenda item, which is number 2, open meeting law complaint. I've given you all a copy of the physical complaint in front of you. I sent out a copy of this complaint yesterday. Have you had a chance to review the complaint?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So this is an open meeting law complaint. We'll review this. The goal of addressing this complaint at the meeting tonight is for the authority to meet and discuss the complaint openly, and then also to formulate a strategy to address the concerns raised in the complaint. At the end of this discussion, we will have kind of an action item list of things that we will be approving, and then we'll make a vote on that. And that's going to be like the official action that the authority will be taking moving forward. Okay. Do you either of you have any questions about the complaint or any of the language included or anything like that about the complaint at all?
I wouldn't say I have any questions on it, no.
Okay. I know that the 3 of us did attend the open meeting law training. We all sent a copy of that email that we received to the broader Stormwater Authority. Given that there are missing members of the authority, at the next meeting, I would like to confirm that those members also took that training, either by the email or just verbally at the meeting. Cece, you took the training as well, right?
I did.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, a couple things here. So going through on the cover page, the first page, there are instructions for a public body that receives a complaint. That would be us. So the first point is that the complaint needs to be disseminated to the public body. We all have a copy of that complaint. So we are meeting to review the complaint, and then we will and that's what this meeting's for tonight. Item bullet point 3. After review, the public body must respond to the complaint in writing and must send the complaint a response and a description of any action that the public body has taken to address the allegations of the complaint. At the same time, the body must send the Attorney General a copy of the complaint and a copy of the response. So again, that's what we're working on tonight. Reading further on, the public body may delegate this responsibility to an individual member of the public body, its counsel, or a staff member, but only after the public body has met to review the complaint. Okay. So, this complaint was filed on June 20, 2025 by Veronica Stevens alleging violations of the open meeting law. She goes in to provide details of the meeting that occurred on May 28, 2025. Several violations were outlined in her complaints. And then ultimately, at the end of the complaints, now that we're all familiar with it, I'm not going to read through this. There are actions that the complainant has asked that the authority address. So that's on the last page with the triangle kind of bullet points, if you can follow along over there. The actions requested include, the first one, the first response recommended is to add a member to the authority, that is qualified in stormwater engineering, and it is the complainant's opinion that no board should be comprised of a majority without technical background in the field to which they are attempting to oversee. I've spoken to our legal department here at the Brockton Law Office, and this complaint kind of falls outside of the purview of the open meeting law and the violation. So as a response to this, I don't think we need to actually formally respond to this in the open meeting law response. However, just my response to that point would be that is the reason that the authority is employing Apex Engineering is to be that technical expertise on behalf of the commission, provide that technical expertise for the commission or the authority. So as long as we are doing our due diligence and making sure that these projects are reviewed by a qualified professional and engineer that can sign off on these things, I don't think that that point is necessarily a deal breaker. Moving on to the second point. Have all members that are not certified in the open meeting law and Robert's rules participate in trainings and become certified. So at least the first part of that has occurred. So we, the three of us, have taken that open meeting law training. I don't have the date in front of me. That was, I think, at the very end of last month.
July 31st.
Yeah,
That sounds correct.
July 31st.
July 31st. Thank you. After that, I think that there is a document that we need to sign to become certified. I think we can do that at the clerk's office. I have not yet done that, but that can be something that we add to our list of action items that we will be doing after this. So we will be certified. The next item that the complainant was asking the authority to do would be number 3 here, or bullet point 3. Members should demonstrate to the council, I assume that's city council, to their knowledge, understanding, acceptance, and commitment to the responsibilities of the position that they intend to hold. Again, this kind of is outside of the purview of the open meeting law, and so we don't necessarily need to address that in our response. Moving on to the 4th bullet point, rescind the previous vote of May 28 for the many reasons that she stated in the complaint. We will address that during agenda item number 3, which is a call to rescind that vote. Bullet point number 5, provide information and/or materials needed by the members in advance for adequate preparation of the agenda items, given ample time for their review, formulating their own concerns and questions. In addition, provide access to review materials on the agenda for the public. That's something that I don't believe any action has been taken on yet, but we would need to decide how we want to approach that. So we'll circle back to that after I finish reading these points. And then finally, the last bullet point, which is number 6, or the 6th bullet point. From this point forward, conduct the meetings in accordance with the rules. I think that's kind of a given, so we're going to do our best to operate under the open meeting law and have no more violations. So I don't know that there's a specific thing that we need to do for that. So those are the actions that the complainant has requested that the authority take. Do you guys have any thoughts about that? I think, again, the goal here is to come up with a list of things that we will be doing or that we have done that will address all of these concerns.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'd be happy to go to the clerk's office and certify that we took the training and get that certification. I agree with some of your points as to that some of these items don't need to be directly addressed. Obviously, we would like to conduct these meetings in accordance to the rules at any moment possible. I think the fifth bullet, provide information or materials needed by the members in advance for adequate preparation. I would love to have a more detailed and, more advanced agenda when possible, with, the adequate materials needed. I think that could be an action item that we could take, more detailed agendas with proper, background materials.
Yeah.
I don't know if-
Any
I
comment?
agree with all of it, with everything he just said. It's a learning process for me personally.
Sure, and I'm not expecting anyone here to have all the answers. We're just kind of brainstorming to kind of put together a list. So what I've got so far concerning bullet point number 2, we want to confirm attendance from the entire body, not just the three of us that are present in CC. And then after we confirm that attendance for that open meeting law training, the second thing is that we need to be certified, whatever that entails. We can look more into that. I believe the complainant is in the room. Veronica, would you mind enlightening us as to what that certification entails?
It's actually at the end of the lesson or in the material that we all used on July 31st. There's a certificate that you attest that you have participated in the lesson, understand the lesson, and material that was supplied with the lesson, which is extensive. It was a separate download. And that once you understand and certify that you understand it, you sign your name, and that entails in keeping up with any changes that may occur.
Sure.
It's
Okay.
basically a promise that you're going to continue to educate yourself on the open meeting law.
All right, well, thank you. So that's something that we can add to as an action item that each member of the authority will be responsible for before the next meeting in September. Again, we can, after the meeting, we'll send out some information about how to do all this, to the authority members. Again, the sending of the vote in May is going to be the next action item, so that will have been addressed at the end of this meeting. I'm just going to make a note here. I do want to make a comment that the meeting minutes, one of the concerns is that the meeting minutes and the agendas weren't detailed enough historically, and I do think that the meeting minutes are more detailed, so thank you, CC, for doing that. That's just one step to address this. I think that there is still room for improvement there. I'd be happy to meet with you after the meeting, not tonight, but before the September meeting, to work on some sort of format, a template that we can kind of follow for subsequent meetings. So I'll reach out to you about that. Welcome.
Council meeting?
No, this is the Stormwater Authority. There's a traffic meeting at the JR room. That's
Down
what you're
the
looking for. Yeah, down that way. Yeah. The big thing that I'd like to see is, we still haven't been provided copies of applications for any of these stormwater reviews. All that information should be easily available, probably on a Stormwater Authority webpage that's kind of a subset of DPW or however you want to do that. But that should be available in one place and not something that someone needs to go through and find a plan from Planning Board or a plan from Conservation Commission or dig through Citizen Serve, which is the building department's permitting software. So all of these things should be in one location, ideally on a web page that's just for the Stormwater Authority. Now, that web page doesn't have to be completely designed yet, but at minimum, we should be looking for a link that takes us to some sort of drive that contains all of this information. This obviously is a little bit of administrative work on the back end. CC, the way that I do this for the Conservation Commission is I have a Google Drive that I just use. Whenever I get a new application coming in, I make a new folder and I just put everything for that project in that folder. That includes application materials. That includes if I get a proposal from a consultant to do work on that project, that goes in there. Any letters from that peer reviewer that are given to, in that case, the commission, as part of that review go in there. The applicant's response to those letters goes in there. Basically, everything from start to finish, goes in that folder. That way, if anyone has a concern or is interested in finding those materials, they can find that and have access to that information. All of that information should be publicly available, and it should be available to the members of the authority as well. In addition to that, that webpage should include a link to all the meeting minutes, past meeting agendas, and all the information that they would need, an applicant would need to put together a permit application. So that's something that obviously is not going to happen tomorrow, but we need to make positive, steps towards that. So I think that we can outline all of that in the response. And then as far as action items, at the beginning of each meeting, until everything's satisfactory, we can have Pat or CC or whomever kind of give a short report as to what action has been taken since the previous meeting. My concern is that a lot of these issues have been brought up several months ago. And there's been no movement on addressing any of these things. So we really need to make sure that we're actually taking these steps. So I think that including a little caveat that at the beginning of the September meeting, we want an update from Pat or whomever. It can be IT, it could be whomever is actually doing this work on behalf of the authority to know what's been done. That would be my recommendation. Again, this is all a discussion. We can decide if we think that's appropriate. If it's not, we can strike that. So we're working on a list here. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think we need a full-time city employee during the week, because obviously you have a lot.
It's a big job.
Yeah, and for us to meet once a month and try to figure this out, it's not really. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I would just go back to what you were talking about earlier with the Google Drive. We have a DPW page on the website. There's a stormwater page within that, I'm pretty sure. And then there's also on the city page, where city council meeting minutes and agendas are posted. Are those currently not being posted now to the website? Do we think that's insufficient? Do you think we need more of a centralized location? Those are all just questions.
My thought is a centralized location would be ideal. Now, I know that the agendas are available. They have to be posted on the city calendar. And I think there is, you can find where those are all posted. CC.
So right now, Jeff Keenan is working on it to get it on the website. He's working with IT. So it might take a little time. If you go in the DPW page, you will see it. It's under review.
So if it's on the stormwater page, is that not a central enough location?
No, I think that's fine. I think that, you shouldn't have to go digging here for the minutes and then go over here for the permits and then over here for the other thing. I think just having that it can be redundant. They can be located other places too. But I think that, once we get the stormwater page completely built out, it should have links to all of that information right there, so it's easily accessible, right? I can't really speak to the hiring an employee. I know that I don't want to speak for Pat either, but he would be the one that would be hiring this person. I have heard that there may be plans to do that, but I don't know where we are in that process. Have you heard anything about that?
No, not enough.
Okay.
Enough information to make a comment on it.
we can't make that call here. That's obviously, based upon the budget that the Stormwater Authority has, and that's not a decision that we're making tonight. But certainly, I think that this could certainly be, at least a part of a person's, like full-time responsibility to kind of manage all of these things. Any other comments about providing information and having that accessible online?
No, just as long as we're taking positive steps, I think.
Okay. So on my little list of action items here, we want to confirm open meeting law attendance, that training for all members of the authority. We want to then follow up and make sure that we are all signing that certification that we are well-versed in open meeting law, and we're committed to keeping up to date on that. Again, we're going to rescind the May vote. I'm going to work with CC on improving the format of the agenda and the meeting minutes moving forward. And then finally, we are going to strive to get all of those types of documentations consolidated in one page on the Stormwater Authority page, and recognizing that that may not happen immediately, at least have a report by the chair to the commission or the authority at the next meeting describing action that has been taken in that direction. Does that seem reasonable?
Seems very reasonable to me.
Okay, well, I will entertain a motion unless there are any other ideas that we want to include as far as addressing the complaint.
So just a question.
Yes.
So we're making a motion addressing the open meeting law complaint through these action items to
That is correct.
strive to.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to address the open meeting law complaint through the completion and strive for completion for these action items.
I will second that motion.
The motion's been made and seconded to address the open meeting law complaint with the items that we had just discussed. A roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
And yes, so that's a unanimous vote for that. One final thing on the open meeting law complaint, this does allow the authority to designate like an appointee to handle the correspondence with the Attorney General's office and the complainant. It's my understanding that an attorney from the city, John Fisher, has been acting in that role. So I would entertain a motion to formalize that by a vote and appointing John Fisher as the authority's representative to address these concerns with the complainant and the Division of Open Government and the Attorney General.
I second that.
Do you need a motion?
Yeah, we need a motion first and then a second. Yep.
All right, I'll make a motion to designate Attorney Fisher as our correspondent with the Attorney General's office.
And I'll second that motion.
All right. Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, and yes, so motion's been, it's been passed by vote, thank you. And that concludes this portion of the open meeting law complaint agenda item. Moving on to agenda item number 3, which is the revocation of the vote to approve the Apex projects. There are several issues with the Apex projects. The reason that we are revoking, or that the law department has recommended that we revoke the vote, is because the meeting agenda for the May meeting, I've got a copy of that here just to show you both here again. The only thing that it says concerning, it doesn't really say anything. The agenda item that we voted under was a review of upcoming projects, review of various upcoming projects. That does not provide enough information to the authority as to what would be discussed, and ultimately that a vote would be asked for to delegate or to actually issue these permits. So it's kind of an issue with the amount of information that was provided to the authority ahead of time, and not just to the authority but also then the public, right? So that's kind of the thought process for rescinding this vote. We will not be voting to reissue any of these tonight. I imagine that we will address those concerns at subsequent meetings in September or down the line. So do we have a motion to rescind the May vote that issued permits for those 10 projects?
I will make the motion.
And I will second that.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
All right, and yes, so that's a unanimous vote there, Cece, thank you. Finally, moving on to number 4, update from Apex Engineering. I did receive, well, I reached out to Apex to have someone come to talk about their various project reviews that they're doing, but upon further discussion with Pat, we've decided that that's kind of inconsequential now because we've kind of voted to not have them do those, we've voted to not issue the stormwater permits. Apex is still going to be doing those reviews on behalf of the Stormwater Authority, but because we're kind of in this administrative kind of gray area right now, we're not going to have this update. We'll have this update in the future. It's my understanding that the contract that the city has with Apex has not yet been fully executed. It's routing still through the city. So once that's completely done, we will then move forward with these Apex reviews formally in some way that we'll address down the line. So if there are no questions about Apex Engineering, we can just end with that. There's no action needed from us, but okay. All of that said, I recognize that the complainant is in the room with us tonight. Veronica, I don't necessarily, because we are going to be issuing a formal letter to you about the Stormwater Authority's response to the complaint. Outside of the things that were discussed at the complaint, when we were discussing the open meeting law complaint, do you have any concerns, questions, to the authority, any new business to bring forth to our attention?
I appreciate it. You guys are doing the best you can, and I don't mean to make my complaint seem like it's directed at any of you. I am a resident that's here trying to get my own issue heard and witnessed what happened on the May 28th meeting. Kyle and I both spoke. It was not something you guys had any control over as far as I could see. It was directed at the chair, from the chair, to make that vote, to take a vote. So I appreciate your time and your consideration in taking my concerns seriously, and I appreciate the work that you've done tonight to put it together and make a response. I look forward to getting it in writing, and when Kyle asks for a roll call, say your name.
It's a little easier for the recording when we're listening back to this, but yeah, thank you. Any other comments, new business from the authority members that you guys wish to bring up?
Nothing for me.
No?
Thank you.
And I've got nothing else to add. So at that, we've kind of completed the agenda for tonight's meeting. I'll entertain a motion to close the meeting.
I will make that motion.
I will second that motion.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Andrew Barbetto, yes.
Andrew Olson, yes.
And Holden, yes. All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.